think.
All right, guys, 1 minute. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. The blood moving. The legs moving. Got a good one. Good steady state, couple steady state efforts, 20 minutes, varying effort, cadence. ERG is going to go off a little bit throughout the set. We got some one-legged warm-ups. A lot to this one, guys. A lot of variables. But let's just get moving. Get those legs cranking. The throwback pair of shorts on today. Domino Driscoll. We had our triathlon company, Red Performance. I think get my other camera to work. Back before we merged with Tower 26 about 10 years ago. We say, why did you call Red Performance an endurance sport company?
Those were the good old days. Men were men and pansies were...
Hang on. I can't hear you. Say it again.
I think they were the good old days. Men were men and pansies were flowers.
Oh, come on.
Come on. Red Performance, me, you, and Bobby. Remember Bob Seaman?
Of course I know
Good
Bob.
old days.
Bob's still around. So, got my red shorts on. Why did I name it red? There's a point to this story. I used to have a swim coach back in the day when we were warming up. He'd always say, let's get red. Come on, everybody, let's get red. Get red in the face, get that blood pumping, get that blood moving. Circulation, hard work, effort. So being a throwback, let's get red, guys. Get those legs pumping, that blood moving. Let's wake up here. A good quality session, a lot of tempo work. What I call it.
Brady, I'm talking to you, James Brady. You don't be late for these workouts, dude.
Hey, James gets a pass. He kicked some ass last weekend, all right? He's got to kick ass next weekend.
No. He's a newbie. He makes sure he's like 5 minutes early.
Where was I? Lost my train of thought. So we'll get this warm up in, nice easy build here. We're gonna back it down for a couple minutes and we'll do our one-legged pedaling again, just like we did on last Thursday, actually. Work on that efficiency, work on that relaxation. Slowly building that heart rate. So the reason, that's what I was saying, but so rudely interrupted. The reason I named this one climbing up and over is because that's what we simulate in this ride. Could be climbing up and over or making a pass, coming out of a corner. We simulate a tempo effort, a race-like effort. Yeah, I erred on the side of being aggressive on the race-like efforts. You're right. But typically we have the ERG on and we hit a minute at threshold coming out of that effort, and then we recover at tempo. I change it up a little bit on this ride because what's going to happen is we're going to simulate that race pace effort at lower cadence as if we're climbing. And then we're going to push over the top as that ERG comes off, and we're really going to feel what it's like to change gears, bring the cadence up, and get up the speed as quick as possible. These are the skills we're going to start working on more and more in these race-ready workouts. of this phase of training, getting us prepared for the demands of race day. We don't take the pressure off the pedals. We don't hit the top of a hill and coast and say, oh God, that was hard. You got to push over the top, get up to speed as fast as possible. The longer it takes you to get to race speed after climbing, the more seconds you're burning on course. What's your 0 to 60 time? How fast can you get from the climbing speed of maybe 12, 13 miles an hour back up to your race pace speed of 20 miles an hour? Faster you get up to that speed, faster you're going to go. I'm going to back it down nice and easy in 3 seconds. Spin it out. All right, so we're going to start with our left foot. I'm trying to get my heart rate monitor to work. There it is. We'll start with our left foot only. Unclip your right foot. Pedal only with your left foot for 1 minute. Then we'll go to our right foot, and then we'll go both feet. Then we'll go to our right foot. We're going to do it 2 times through. For 1 minute on your left foot, 1 minute both feet, 1 minute on your right foot, 1 minute both feet. Repeat. If you did this last Thursday and you had a tough time and you had a ton of clicks in that pedal stroke, hit the down arrow while we're doing this set. Allow yourself to do it correctly without being overwhelmed with too much wattage. Cadence should be in the 70s. We're really focusing on that knee drive as we pedal with the 1 foot. Allowing that lower leg to relax, smoother and more relaxed, or so the more relaxed that ankle can be, the smoother the pedal stroke is going to be. Ride with this one guy on the weekends. And you watch his pedal stroke. All he does is mash down, mash, 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 mash. And he puts out a ton of watts. But every single race, his bike time is slow. His run time is slower than his bike time. There's no efficiency in the pedal stroke. It's just like he's squatting and releasing every single pedal stroke. Left foot only. Let's go. 2, 1. Left foot only. Unclip that right foot. Kind of let it hang next to you. Cadence is in the 70s. We're focusing on that knee drive, allowing for the relaxed transition from quadrant to quadrant in the pedal stroke. Through the top, down the front, pulling under the bottom, releasing the foot up. What counts is moving from each quadrant to each quadrant by relaxing. Here we go. Come on. If your cadence is below 70, hit that down arrow a couple times. I don't want you mashing a huge gear. 2, 1. Clipping your right foot. Let's go both feet for 1 minute. Like doing a drill and swimming and then going to swimming, right? You do a 1-arm drill or kick on your side, and then you go to swimming and you forget the drill. Kicking on your side, and then you go do 25 on your side, and then you go and swim at 25. You got to remember that rotation, that extension, that stability in the scapula. Same thing here. We pedal perfectly for a minute with one leg. We click in that other leg. We keep that perfect pedaling. Here we go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, Right foot only. Let's go. And I don't care if you're in a TT position or sitting up on these right now. I just want you to get the feel for the smooth, efficient pedal stroke. Main set, we'll talk a little more in the TT position and what we're focusing on. But right now, you can go in and out of it if you want, but I'm not going to be a stickler. I'm sitting here talking to you guys, looking around, and I noticed my knee hit the top tube, right? I was losing focus. My knee dove in. Pay attention to that knee, straight up and down. Relax that hip flexors, that foot floats up. Three, two, one. Flip in that left foot. Let's go both feet for a minute. Keep that same fluid, efficient pedaling. Driving the knee down as you float the opposite knee up. Sure, when you're one-legged pedaling, some of you guys will say, oh, I can't release that foot. I can't float that knee up, that foot up the back. How's it supposed to get up there? You ever hear of gravity? Newton? It's just a thought, guys. It's a thought, the feeling, channeling that relaxation as that foot floats up. Still gonna get a little pull out of that hip flexor, out of that knee. But we're not focused on that. We're focusing on relaxation as the knee comes up. Three, left foot only. Three, two, one. Remember what we talked about on Tuesday. If that knee dives in, you're putting all that stress on the hip flex, on the IT band. Some of you guys have felt a pinch in that hip flexor on the inside your pelvis front. That would also be caused by that knee diving in. So drive your knee with a little more momentum. Let's try and bring your cadence up a little bit. Relax the lower leg. See if you can get the cadence into the 80s. Three, two, one. Once you have a solid, strong paced bike ride, both legs, efficient, smooth, you save energy every pedal stroke, which means you're saving energy every minute, which means you're saving energy every hour. Stressing the right areas, keeping the stress off the wrong areas. It comes from mindful execution. Technique, pacing, power, heart rate. Just turn a blind eye to that and say, I'm going to go as hard as I can. I want Strava to look good after the fact. Like I said, you're going to be one of those athletes who has a 5-hour bike and a 5.5-hour run. All right, here we go. Right foot only. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Right foot. Last one. Drive the knee down, float it up. Let's try and bring that cadence up again with your right foot into the 80s. Keeping the lower leg relaxed, driving the knee. Feel any stress in the hip flexor, in the calf. Release it. Focus on that relaxation. If there's any clicking in that pedal stroke, release that tension. 2, 1. As we fatigue, bring that, clip that other foot in. That tension mounts as we fatigue. Clicking starts to happen. That's inefficiency. We want to do everything we can do to release that tension and keep that efficiency. Cody calls me every other day. Says, how the hell does George Iles put out so many watts? How's George so strong? All he does is stay up late, eat chicken wings, drink beer. He shows up at 5:45 and averages 4.5 watts per kilogram. All right, let's back it down. Easy spin. 3, 2, 1. Because if you watch George pedal, he has probably the most efficient, smoothest pedal stroke out of anyone I've ever seen. He has a big amount of power that he puts into those pedal strokes, but he's not just mashing down on the pedals. Maximizing every revolution, maximizing every watt, top, bottom, front, back of the pedal stroke. All right, so we got 21-minute effort, which is 20 minutes and 30 seconds to be exact. Driscoll's like, that's 20:30, it's not 21. I know he added it up. So we're going to start around 85%. Low cadence. Cadence is going to be in the 60s. We do that for 4 minutes. I don't want you really paying attention to your heart rate right away because our cadence is going to be lower than our typical 85% heart rate because our cadence is so low. We don't have the blood circulating back to heart as fast. Heart doesn't need to beat as fast. More of a muscular effort. So you're going to be a few beats lower than your typical 85% heart rate. We'll do that for 4. I'll warn you guys, but once we hit that 5th minute, the ERG is going to turn off. So we got to be ready by having that gearing in the big ring in the front. And you use the cassette in the back. And we're going to visualize ourselves coming to a top of a climb and pushing over the top by keeping an effort in the 95% to 110% threshold range, power-wise. Cadence is going to come up. Coming out of that, we'll settle back in, slightly over 85%. Push over the top. 90%, we'll finish around 91, 92%. Push over the top, and then we finish with a tempo effort back down to 90% before we get a little break.
"20 minutes in, boys and girls. Take a drink, fix your hair. Let's get ready. Get ready.
Drink, All right, here we go. We're going to drop our cadence down. In the 60s, we're visualizing a climb. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, find your rhythm, find your feel. Even though we drop the cadence, doesn't mean we start mashing the pedals. Everything's similar feel to those one-legged pedaling drills. Still warming up. The first higher power effort might feel a little uncomfortable, a little foreign. Bring that cadence down, guys. Don't shortchange yourself by skimping on the foot speed. Want to work that resiliency, work that strength, work that foundation. But like I demonstrated on the 2 p.m. call, the more load we add, the more resistant through gearing, through climbing, the more crucial it is to have good alignment of those joints. You're climbing and you're letting those knees dive in. Your hip, your IT band, your knee. It's all twisting around, causing stress in the wrong areas. Well, I'll use the yo-yo when it gets all twisted and it spins, coming back up. But if that's nice and straight, goes down and up, down and up. Right, Lynn? Lynn, you missed these comparisons, didn't you? We use that at work today. Don't be the spinning yo-yo, Joe. Joe R. Come on, I'm waking you up, bud. All right, so it's just a 4-minute climb. Nothing too crazy. We'll make sure we're in that big ring in the front, everybody. If you're not there yet, be there now. When we put in more watts, bring up the foot speed, we can't be spinning out by keeping it in the little ring in the front. So in 1 minute, we're going to crest that hill. I want us to close our eyes right now and visualize yourself coming to the top. What it feels like, what it looks like. Many of us are foreign to us. You get to the top, you say, oh, thank God that's over. Let me get a reprieve. We've proven time and time again we can recover at tempo. So in 20 seconds, ERG is going to come off. You're on your own power. Let's get out of the saddle for a few seconds. Push over the top of this hill. You can open your eyes again there. CJ, thought he's sleeping. Here we go, 5 seconds. ERG is off in 2. Out of your saddle, push over the top, come on. Now I want you to shoot for 95 to 110% of threshold. Threshold's 200, that's 190 to 220. Come on, guys. Got to get up the speed. It hurts to do it, but you'll be happy when you did after the race. When you PR'd by seconds, or placed 2 spots up by 10 seconds. 3, 2, slow your feet. 1, come back to that climb. We're going back into a roller. Going back up. You're on your TT bike. Let's get in that TT position. Head out of the wind. Relax the back of your neck. Just peek up over those bars. Cadence is down, guys. 60 to 70. Pedal through the uncomfortable feeling. You'll come out on the other side. 60 to 90 seconds in. That lactate flushes. And you're back in your rhythm. But you got to prove to yourself here that you can pedal through that lactate. Triathlete magazine article called The Fourth Dimension. And I don't know where this guy got this name, Fourth Dimension. He's calling it your ability to persevere, withstand the stress, shut down everything in your brain that's saying stop or back down, drive through it, and realize you can survive. I will survive. More? Anyone? But you got to prove it to yourself here. You got on race dates, no question. Sure, I'm uncomfortable, but I will survive. Warmed up my pipes this morning. All right, watch those knees. Don't lose focus as you get uncomfortable. Don't lose focus on the technique. Keep the knees straight up and down, drive them down, float them up. So the last push over the top, we pushed over a minute, and then we got into the next climb, right? This one, we have a little more of a flat post climb that we have to keep that effort up on as we push over. We've got 90 seconds. The ERG is going to come off. And I don't want you to overshoot the effort. You can spike it at the start, but then I want you to dial in to right about your threshold. Whatever your threshold is at race pace cadence. So we'll spike it here briefly. Here we go. 5, 3, out of the saddle. 2. Let's go. Big power. Come on. Now back in the saddle. Find your threshold. Race pace cadence. Drive your knees. Relax the lower leg. Take deep breaths. Relax your face. Pedal through. That uncomfortableness. Stay on the pedals. Keep it right there, guys. Come on. 30 seconds. Turn the brain off that says back it down. Drive one knee down, float the other one up. Straight up and down. Got up the speed quick. We didn't let off the pedals. Here we go. 4 minutes. 3, 2, cadence down. Climbing again. Shift that cassette into one of the heavier gears. Towards the outside of your bike. You slow those feet. Real nice. Pedal through it, guys. Come on. call it the lactate threshold. It's the threshold at which your body stops clearing lactate efficiently. That's the burn you feel in the legs when you're pedaling above lactate threshold. Anything below it is an aerobic effort. Presence of oxygen. Anything above it, there isn't enough oxygen to clear the lactate. So it builds. We come back into our tempo effort off of the hard effort, below lactate. That oxygen comes back in, outnumbers the acid and clears it. But it takes time. We're realizing here that we don't need the soft pedal in order for that lactate to clear, for that oxygen to ramp back up. It happens in about 60 to 90 seconds. The fitter you are, the faster it happens. You have greater stroke volume in your heartbeat. You got to realize by backing it down, you're burning seconds. Our foot's on the accelerator the entire race. It's how we press down and let up, berries. That guy I was talking about earlier just stomps on the pedals. He's bop boop, accelerator, let go, accelerator, let go, accelerator, let go. That's what leads to his subpar runs, time and time again. All right, cadence is low, 60 to 70s. Legs are coming back to you. You're channeling that one-legged pedaling, pedal stroke after pedal stroke. All right, we have our last push over the top in 40 seconds. This time we'll spike it. And we're going for 2 minutes. So I want to hold 90% to threshold, somewhere in that range. For the 2 minutes, ERG's coming off in 15 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, out of the saddle. 1, let's go, push. Big spike, sit back down. Come on, guys. Race pace cadence. 75 to 80. Effort, 90% the threshold. Ride 30 seconds at a time. 30 to 30 to 30 to 30. Staying on those pedals, withstanding that uncomfortable feeling. Thinking about your technique. Drive your left knee straight down. Float your right knee straight up. Stay on the power, guys. Come on. I don't want to see those watts per kg drop off. I'm watching. Drive your right knee down. Float your left knee up. Oh, you heard that. You guys heard that. Got to hold yourself accountable. Right knee down, left knee up. Smooth, efficient, strong pedaling. All right, we finished this round. Let's lower the cadence. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Drop your cadence. Stay on the pedals. Come on. Drive through the uncomfortable. 92% ain't nothing after what you just put out. Feel that oxygen repopulating, flushing that lactate. You're like an oxygen-rich newborn baby. Beautiful. Stay on it. That cadence low, guys. Keep it right there. We're climbing to the finish of this set. I haven't looked at the Tour de France route yet, but I'm sure they have a few mountaintop finishes. Yeah, George? Yeah. They don't stop until the line. Number 1, because every second counts. Number 2, because they'd fall over. We don't stop climbing until the line. Good, keep it right there. Work that resiliency, work that strength. I'm looking at all this data off of Training Peaks, session after session. At these workouts, I always look at the data, but these workouts where we've been riding solely off of heart rate. And every one of you guys, heart rate's dialed right where it should be to the power. Sometimes I can't even tell the difference. The power line versus the heart rate line, they're so dialed in. That's amazing aerobic strength. But what most or all of us always need to work on, no matter who you are, whether you're number 1 triathlete in the world, is that muscular strength, that 4th dimension, the ability to keep pushing, that resiliency. And that comes in this lower cadence strength work. Comes in the gym. Climbing up hills on the run. Good, 20 seconds, keep it low. Five, 3, 2, 1, and spin it out. Real nice. Nice and easy, guys. You need to turn the ERG off. Turn it off. You can hit the down arrow. Get a little easier spin. We got 4 minutes. O'Driscoll, what do you see?
Just a reminder to everybody, 40 minutes in, this is the time where you drop that heart rate a little bit. Take a drink, take another gel. Just soft pedal for the next 4 minutes. Refocus, And do it again. Rinse and repeat. Just like shampoo, rinse and repeat. Back it down. Drop your heart rate. Mine was spiking right there. I got to remember to just soft pedal, nice and easy. Take a big, deep breath. Back it down a little bit. It's too much for the old man.
Take the recovery serious so we get the most out of the work. All right, so this next round, we're going to start high for our tempo efforts and decrease slightly. Difference in cadence is I want the cadence a little higher. I want your cadence in the 70s, preferably the high 70s for the tempo efforts. So we're on more of a flat. So you can work TT position if you're on that bike. Really cut the wind, fold the shoulders in, drop your head, peek up above the bars. And then every surge, we're going to start with our greater time, 2 minutes, come down. We're going to visualize ourselves putting in an effort on the flat, maybe passing some competitors. We're just firing up a little bit just to get the legs going because you've been caught in a lull. But in that effort, if you're in that TT position, you can stay in that TT position because we're visualizing ourselves on a flat. Okay, this is going to come up a little bit. Can drop a gear harder when we go into that. But in this 20-minute set, if you're on that TT bike, let's visualize race day and that position you're going to have to hold for hours. If we don't practice it now, it ain't going to happen on race day. Once you're more comfortable in that TT position than Mason is in his crib right there. See that guy? All buried in the pillows and his stuffies. He's awake, but he's just chilling, finger in his mouth. How I want you to feel in that TT position.
Hey, can you turn your camera around and show us with the TT position? Have you got your own bike?
On my road bike.
Let's do Georgie then. Look at George. Look, beautiful. There's a handsome man right there. Sorry, George.
There he is.
Yeah, look at that. Look.
Now peek up like you're going down the road.
Yeah, look at him. Look.
Yeah, he's turtled his back.
Look.
Head is dropped but relaxed. He's just looking over his hand.
Look.
He's like an arrow.
Perfect.
That doesn't come. You got to practice it. All right, spotlight's off you. You can go back to looking ugly. All right, here we go. 90% cadence in the 70s, preferably the upper 70s. Here we go. 2, 1, 4 minutes. Come on, guys. 92%. This is your hardest tempo effort left. But blood might have pooled a little bit, so it might take about 30 seconds. Which you might find after a long descent. What the hell happened to my legs? Let's get them going again. That motor will be purring in no time. Find your rhythm, find your tempo. All right, 1 minute in, we should be feeling good. 92% of threshold is about your Olympic distance race pace. You do an Olympic distance triathlon, you probably want to hold around 90 to 95%, somewhere in there. We're a little more aggressive here because we're a little fitter than your average athletes. We get more out of that performance, but it hurts. It hurts, but you got to know you can withstand it. Not 1 second in an Olympic distance bike race that I'm not saying to myself, damn, this hurts. But I've proven to myself time and time again, I can push that hard, take a risk on the bike, or a quote unquote risk, what many think is a risk, and then run off it. Have a blistering run off it. I've proven to myself what I can hold, where I can go to from an effort standpoint, and still have a great run. Don't be afraid to push, guys. You're fast, you're fit, you're strong. Some may call it taking a risk. I call it just performing within your abilities. If you're not comfortable in the TT position, just spend 30 seconds down, 30 seconds up. Repeat that. Eventually you start spending more time down, less time up. And if something that's just not feeling right, then we got to see a bike fitter. All right, ERG is going to come off in 30 seconds. Cadence is going to come up slightly. We're going to try to hold around our threshold. I'll take 95% or 105, but I want it steady. Here we go. No getting out of the saddle. No. 2, 1. Drive your knees. Come on. 2 minutes. 95% to 105. We're on a flat, guys. Visualize it. You got to train a 10 athletes. You got to put in an effort to pass each one of them. You can't let off the pedals. Number one, it's much harder to get going again after you let up. Number two, you don't want to get a penalty. 25 seconds to pass. Good. 2 30-second efforts down. We're on to our third. Keep floating those knees up, especially if you're in that TT position. Keep the tension out of the hip flexors. Good. Last 30. Come on. Upper body's relaxed. Drop your shoulders. Soften your elbows. Bring your weight back into the saddle. 10 seconds. Blow your feet in 3, 2, 1. Somewhere in the 70s. Cadence. Come on, stay on it, guys. Stay on it. 90%. We don't back down. I'm blanking right now. One of our athletes at a race, O'Connor, McCann. Lost out on the podium by 6 seconds at Morro Bay. 6 seconds, guys. Every second counts. Good, 1 minute in, that lactate is clearing. Still at that Olympic distance pace. Relax your hands, wiggle your fingers. Good, saw it. Especially you guys in the TT position. Saw you wiggle those fingers, release that tension. Too much tension in the upper body. There's not enough power transferring to the pedals from the lower body. You're wasting watts. But constantly remind yourself to relax. Good, we're back, baby. Legs are back. Tempo's back. Big deep breaths. I would say we're red by now, Driscoll, wouldn't you? Just thumbs up is fine.
Oh, we're red for sure. Big red right here.
All right, let's float that left knee through the top of the pedal stroke as you scrape the right heel under. Think about it working together. Left knee floats through, right heel scrapes under. All right, right knee floats through, left heel scrapes under. That's 30 seconds. Now we go 30 seconds on the other side. All right, a second surge is coming up. 90 seconds. Right around threshold again. Here we go. Do not get out of the saddle. 3, 2, 1. Drive your knees. Let's go. Right around threshold. Cadence probably came up a little bit. Might be in the 80s. That's fine. Good. Come on. 30 in. We got 2 by 30 left. Play the mind games with yourself as you're focusing on technique. Relaxed, efficient, smooth pedaling. Try and stay in that TT position. Bounce in and out of it. Cut that wind. Visualize yourself on course. Looking down the road slightly. With that head peeking up. Come on, guys. Great surge. Come on. All the way in. 15. Stay on it. Back it down. Cadence in the 70s. 2, 1. Clear the lactate. Drive your left knee down, float your right knee up. Forty pedal strokes. Drive the left down, float the right up. Count to yourself. Let's go. Over to the right side. Drive your right down, float your left up. Let's go. 40 pedal strokes. Good. I was running with an athlete yesterday, and he had done a mountain bike ride on the weekend. He's not an experienced cyclist. He's just training to get fit. He said his lower back was really tight after the ride. He was concentrating so much on getting up the hill, keeping the rubber side down, he was forgetting to keep those hips curled under you. You let those hips tilt forward, causes a sway in the lower back. Which moves the pressure from the glutes into the lower back and tightens your hip flexors. You never want that sway in our lower back. For walking, running, swimming, sitting. We always want a neutral spine and those hips tucked under us. Curl your hips under. You put the stress in the right place and take the stress off the wrong place. All right, we have one more surge. We're still on flat ground. This time you got to create a little space. You got a wheel sucker, a cheater. You got to send him packing by pulling away. So I want you to make this look easy. Let's come up the threshold as ERG goes off in 3, 2, 1. Come on. Up the threshold, guys. Let's go. Make it look easy. That wheel sucker sees your face. He says, this guy looks like he's not even working. But she's not even working. There's no way I can keep up. You know you're hurting. They don't know that. "30 seconds, and you broke the rope. You broke the bungee. Come on, guys, push. Let's go. Four minutes at 85%. 5, 3. Let's go. 80. Cadence in the 70s. We finish off with this tempo to further prove You can push that through that lactate. Adapt the muscles. Adapt the heart. Clearing that lactate quick by practicing it here. %. We're on our very top end of half Ironman race pace. "30 seconds at a time." Within each 30, I want you thinking about one aspect of your technique. Just like on race day, your coaches aren't there to remind you. You run through it on your own. Every 30 seconds, I want you to switch focus. Your first focus is here in 3, 2, 1. You can base it on time. You can count pedal strokes. All right, let's switch focus in 2, 1. New area focus. Building that mental strength, mental resiliency, the wherewithal to know when you're getting tired, where you're going to put that focus. Switch focus in 1. Go, new area. Switch focus in 3, 2, 1. New area. New area focus in 3, 2, 1. Three, 2, 1, and spin it out. Very nice. Guys, it's up to you. Ultimately, it's your accountability that gets you where you want to go. We could preach it all day long. Say, get in the TT position. Practice this position. Get comfortable in this position. But if you turn a blind eye, you're like, oh, he's not watching. Or it doesn't say every second. I'm not going to do it. You're not going to get better. You're not going to get more comfortable. Workouts are workouts. No magic pill. It's your accountability to yourself. Are you going to let the mind wander and just say, screw it, I'm just going to go with it? Or are you going to practice the mental skills that we practice on these rides? So when race day comes, it's just second nature. It just happens. Oh, I lost focus. Bring it back to technique. We have a special thing here, guys. We work together. We ingrain good habits. me, Chris, Eli, Emily, we could shout at you all day long, but ultimately it comes down to you. Are you willing to do what it takes to be better? Be the best that you can be. And I don't want to coulda, shoulda, woulda on race day. We cover all the bases. We give all the skills you need. It's up to you to practice it. To execute. All right, we got 15 minutes at 70%, guys. Race pace cadence, more time to work on that TT position. You're on your drops. If you're on a road bike, work around the bars. Be on the hoods, on the base bar, on the drops. 3, 2, 1. Once again, you might feel a little heavy. Cadence 75 to 80. Just layering on some volume, some resiliency on top of the fatigue. More work on that floor.
Francisco, back it down. You don't need to be going that hard, man, on this 15-minute effort. Leave a little till Sunday.
He's
Back it
fired
down.
up. Perfect workout for Francisco. Racing Eagle Man this weekend. All right, find your groove, find your tempo. Let's see how that heart rate settles in. Hopefully you guys stayed on your nutrition throughout. Like I said in the Tuesday email, got to take that recovery serious. Last week, I said it, so we can adapt. Reach plus recovery equals adaptation. Without those calories, without those electrolytes, you're going to fail to adapt fully to the work we just did. Keep hydrating here. Break it down into 5-minute segments, right? 5 minutes to 5 minutes, 5 minutes. Cadence 75 to 80, really mimic race day cadence feel. And just because we back the effort down doesn't mean we don't stop focusing on technique. We're tired, we're beat up. Our body wants to compensate. We fall back into old habits because it thinks that's the path of the least resistance. We know better. We have to keep mindful of that technique. Every second, every pedal stroke. Wonder why I'm not on my TT bike. I lost my star screwdriver. I need to attach the front end, so gotta go buy one of those today. Put that TT bike back together. I don't know where the heck happened to it. I'm sure Mason ate it or something. Lost my Whoop battery last year. Gone. No idea. I think it's still in his stomach somewhere. Any other kid, you'd be worried. This kid, you can eat nails, he'll be fine. Haven't seen Godzilla in a while, Jack. I don't know what happened to that guy. You guys don't remember, I had a pet Godzilla, pet lizard, the size of Godzilla roaming around. He'd occasionally make an appearance on the ride in the morning. He'd just sit back there, lap up my sweat. Gross. As he looked into the camera and stared you guys down. Yeah, Godzilla's out there working on the car. The star screwdriver. Yeah, oil change too. Good. Thanks. All right, we did a lot of visualization here, guys. Stephanie, you look bored. No different now. We're visualizing Ironman race, Ironman effort. Ironman watts per kilogram. Now, Emily spoke poorly on an FTP test on Tuesday. She spoke poorly, and that made me want to plan an FTP test just in spite of her. Right, O'Driscoll?
Do it, do it, do it, do it. Let's do it Tuesday. Suck it up, kids. Let's do it.
No, let's see. There might be a surprise on the schedule.
Yeah, I like it.
Emily's out of town, so we can sneak one behind her.
Lovely. Let's do it. I might have
She'll
to
look-
wash my hair that day. I'm not sure.
She'll look at Training Peaks and be like, what the? Those jerks! They snuck it by me.
Let's do an FTP test Tuesday and do the wrecker on Thursday.
We'll see. We'll see, Chris. Don't get excited. We'll talk it over live. A meeting of the minds. I mean, we just did 2 by 20 minutes at a darn hard effort, guys. Our FTP protocol is just 1 by 20 minutes. Walk in the park.
Guys, this is a solid freaking workout, man. This is a good hour and 20 minutes. A 5-star workout. If you tack on a little run after this, that's all you need all day. You don't need to do anything else. That's quality. You need to be kind to yourself, eat properly, drink, and find a shady tree about 1 or 2 o'clock and take a little 10-minute nap. That's what you need to do.
You guys can take 10. I take 20. Nature's alarm clock wakes me up. Time to hit the can. All right, how are we feeling, guys? How's that TTP position feeling? Really, there's no magic fix on race day. If something doesn't feel right, we got to deal with it now. Not just like, oh, I'm feeling this little niggle in my calf every pedal stroke. I'll be fine. Race day will come and I'll be all right. Deal with it now. See a bike fitter if we have to. See a physical therapist if we have to. Spend all this time, money, commit so much to our training. We don't want to hit the start line with any questions. Is this going to act up? Is that going to act up? Because we dealt with it now. Amazing work, everybody. This is awesome. Mitch swimming yesterday. Guy has a great long stroke we've been working on. Swimming faster than ever. Fatigue was mounting. He was swimming faster. He was trying to swim faster and his arms started spinning. Brr, brr, right? Becoming very inefficient. So Mitch, get back to your technique. Get back to that long, strong pull. It's just natural. Get away from that efficiency as we want to swim faster, or ride faster, or run faster. As we fatigue. Be like Mitch. Turn it around real quick. He turned it around. Not only swim more efficiently, but he's swimming in the end faster than he'd started. Mindful work.
And
Next
then
step is
then he ran hill repeats up and down Latigo.
Yep.
Him and his training partner.
Next step, do it on your own without coach reminding you. All right, guys, our last 5-minute segment coming up. Keep that cadence dialed, 75 to 80. Curl those hips under. Don't let those hips pop out. Gets the glutes firing. Gets that deep intrinsic core stabilizing. Bacham never comes on the Zoom. Gotta get him on the Zoom. He's in Germany. Remember, if on your bar, if you're on the road bike bars, you're moving around. You're on the base bar, you're on the hoods, you're on the drops. 30 seconds on each. You're in that TT position. Keep the weight back in the saddle, curl the hips under. Relax the upper body, drop your shoulders, soften your elbows. Wiggle your fingers. Francisco up here on the screen. Francisco's racing Eagle Man. It's Sunday. There he is. Don't wave. We're looking at you, Francisco. Good luck, buddy. Look at those guns. Never is efficiency more important than Francisco. Think about your arm muscles versus your leg muscles. His arms look like many of our legs. Without solid efficiency in that arm turnover, he'd burn out real quick.
Bib number 16, everybody. 16 on Sunday. Eagle Man. Must be
Leslie's
a big
racing Eagle Man also. I think Oliver is too. Got a lot of athletes on course this weekend, guys. Boulder 70.3. Des Moines 70.3. Eagle Man. Western Mass 70.3. Ironman Philippines, where our teammate Peter Husokuk is #1 in Ironman Philippines. Our Tower 26 athlete doesn't miss a session. Got a 3-year-old daughter. Commit so much. So keep an eye on Ironman Philippines there. Let's see there.
We have more people on the bus this weekend.
Facing how far ahead of us they are. Let's just say you should wake up and he should be well into the bike.
More people for the bus from Auckland down to Lake Taupo. Taupo, not Tahoe. Taupo. Lake Taupo.
More people on the bus.
I might drive the bus.
I thought that was the case. I thought you were. So Philippines is 15 hours ahead of us. 15. Race is Sunday morning. You can start watching it Saturday. Then everybody else is towing the line Sunday. Over here. Let's push them along. All right, one more minute, guys. Stay strong to the finish. And stay on. Bring that heart rate down in the 90s by the end of this, or by the time you get off. Let's finish this at 70%. And you can cool down on your own. Really, really solid session, everybody. Good visualization session. Good race ready session.
Good ride, everybody. Good coaching, Jim. Thanks again.
That's it. Now we go out this weekend. If you can get outside and implement all these skills we worked on. Don't overcook it, but visualize what we did here when you're out there and try and get that feel on the real road. Let that body adapt to the vibrations of the road. So if you can get outside this weekend, get outside. All right, let that heart rate come down in 2, 1. Real nice work, everybody. Nice and easy. Stay on as long as you need to bring it down. Santiago asked, hey, if I stay on for this entire ride, I don't have time for my run. Should I still do it later? The answer is yes. You may not do it as a brick because you got to go to work because I'm keeping you guys on longer. We still want to add that to our weekly volume, right? So if I expect you guys to be at 3 hours of weekly volume and you skip today's there's not a run, but on Tuesday I'm talking about for many of you. Some of you may have a run. If you skip, I'm just saying in general, if you skip that T run, try and get those miles in later in the day so we can keep building volume week over week without you taking a hit because we missed a run. So can't slip in the T run on the day it's called for or at the time it's called for. Do it later in the day after work. It'll help you loosen up. So just a quick note. Awesome work, guys. Go get recovered. Stay on your hydration. Stay on your nutrition. Be safe this weekend. Cheer on your teammates. Love you guys. Bye.